Vanessa, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to talk all about hip thrust and glute bridges. This is my transformation from 2015. Here's my photo. This is before I went to the gym, before any of that. Like I told you girls, take progress pictures because you will see results. I didn't take any pictures. This is just before I started training. I randomly just took it, I don't know. This is before I started training, and then this is finally after about a month of training. I took just this simple photo thinking, like, okay, maybe I might stick with this, I'm not sure, so I took that one photo. After about 1 year, my glutes looked like this, and I was not incorporating any hip thrust movement, cable kickbacks, anything like that, because I was too shy at the gym to do those things. But now that I am doing all the numbers in the books and I'm not shy anymore, and I am encouraging you to do some hip thrusts, to step out of your comfort zone, to do all the movements you need to grow your glutes. Of course, there are a lot of workouts that have helped me, not just hip thrusts, but I do think that hip thrusts are the ones that have helped me the most. And this is not just me. This is this saying for lots of women. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new, please subscribe. Let me know what other content you would like to see. I also have a video on squats and what exercises to grow your glutes, and why so many women think that the actual back squat, that's right, the actual back squat does not work your glutes as much as you think it does. So I will link that video down below. It will be the first link in the description box. So go check that out, because you will be surprised, ladies, that it's not going to be squats that will grow the booty the most. This is it, the hip thrust. We are starting with 2 legs on the floor, basic glute bridges. The legs are shoulder width apart, and simply thrust into the air, squeeze the glutes at the top. For these first exercises, I'm going to talk about some glutical biomechanics. So the gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the body, whether you are measuring it by weight, cross-sectional area, or by volume. And for your glutes to be at its maximum growth ability, performing high and low reps at low and high velocities are useful for training the glutes. I had a question on my last video that said, what can I do if my glutes are not growing anymore, if they're at a plateau? Always switch around the weight, mess around with the reps. It's time to switch it up. Your glutes are getting used to it. That's just the beauty of it. Your body gets used to it, and you must step it up. So the single leg glute bridge has higher activation for the upper gluteus maximus and lower gluteus maximus at the same time, as opposed to doing 2 leg body weight glute bridges where your lower gluteus maximus is being more activated. For some of the no-nos, in any of these exercises, do not lift your heels up. Keep your heels on the floor. Most importantly, do not let your knees cave in. For any exercise, do not let your knees cave in. When you are squatting, when you are lunging, it is so important that your knees do not cave in. The first time I did hip thrust was on the leg extension machine. I highly recommend doing this variation because there's just no way to mess up. You know what I'm saying? There is no way to mess up. As you can see here, my knees are going over my shoe. Do not do that. Do not hurt yourself. And also, do not extend your leg farther than it needs to be, because then you will be working more hammies. And right now, we are trying to glow the glutes. The peak is reached at full hip extension as the glutes reach their shortest muscle length. That is where the maximum voluntary contraction happens. So for the glute bridges, I do go full range of motion, but for the hip thrust, I don't necessarily come all the way down. Nothing is even happening down there, and as long as I feel it in my glutes, I'm good. Of course, there are some people who go all the way down, and that is fine. Another great variation, I find here that on the bench press, it is a lot lower and the roam feels a lot more natural. So this is another option that can be done with the plates on your hip. Here I'm showing you where I have my back on the bench. So not all the way up on my neck, nor is it all the way down where pretty much my whole back is on the bench. Throughout all of these motions, you guys can see that we are using the same techniques for all of these exercises. Here on this straight curl bar, I am simply doing the same movement. A tip that I can give you guys is that if you're not feeling it in your glutes, try pointing out your toes just a bit. After all of these hip thrust variations, the movement should come very, very natural to you. And so up next, we're going to do the barbell hip thrust. Getting the barbell off and on is very, very hard for me, and the bench is too tall, so putting these step-up platforms helps me be able to put it down and put it back up very, very easily. Like I mentioned before, I'm not worried about bringing the weight all the way down. I do tap it on the step-up platforms, but I do bring it right back up because the point of the motion that I'm trying to do here is the top, the peak, where the glutes are at maximum voluntary contraction. As I'm doing these, my chin is looking forward. I'm not looking up at the sky. Pushing through with your heels, keeping your back at the very, very top of the motion where you are squeezing your glutes, that your back is parallel to the floor so it's not arching. Last thing, it's 2 in the morning. I'm sorry. Thank you for putting up with me. I'm literally falling asleep. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and happy booty building. You got this.